We believed we knew for decades the narrative, the expansion of the Big Bang, the galaxy's delicate, slow dance, stars emerging from obscurity. But what would happen if I told you that everything we thought we knew is now hanging by a thread? Considering the James Webb Space Telescope, the most powerful machine ever designed to examine the past, has just caught something no one was prepared for: black, excessively dense star clusters, holes that are too big, and old structures too organized to fit into our perfect, tiny representation of the universe's beginnings. This is not simply a bug. It is not only one cosmic accident. It is an expanding avalanche of evidence indicating a chilling chance that the universe did not begin with the Big Bang, or at minimum not the way we've always thought. It began with something almost too quiet to observe. Telescopes existed decades ago, like when Spitzer saw a huge cloud of dust, a space around the star Beta Pictoris, a sign of a large collision, such as planet-forming cosmic violence and stars. It was intended to last forever, a relic of that chaos. However, when James Webb once more focused on Beta Pictoris, the cloud simply vanished. No heat, no lingering particles in the signature. It's as if the incident had never occurred. Researchers provided cautious explanations. The dust spread out, cooled and waned. However, the speed and completeness of its disappearance defy everything we understand. That was only the initial phase. Deep within, Webb found Jupiter's great red spot, structures that had never been seen before, waves of gravity bending the atmosphere in ways that suggest forces we barely comprehend. It appears as if the universe, for a long time obscured by layers of chaos and distance, is now retreating, the veil revealing a reality that was always there but hidden from view. Webb continued to investigate things. The universe's supposed childhood got more bizarre. Where it ought to have been unformed, raw gas clouds and disorganized, Webb discovered star clusters, dense, well-organized, and shining brightly in the shadows. In a galaxy that was only formed 460 million years after the Big Bang, Webb observed not just one compact star, but 5 clusters. Additionally, each one is excessively dense, mature, and overly perfect. 3 ancient red stars glowed with a light that ought to require billions of years to develop, except the timeline and the universe were merely still a billion years old. How can ancient stars exist when the universe as a whole was supposed to be a young child? But possibly the most perplexing finding was the detection of extremely large black holes, each one 10 times as big as the monstrosity in the center, Sagittarius A, from the Milky Way. Born 600 million years ago, their involvement has continued for years. Their existence, according to every physics law we realize, is impossible, unless the universe is much older, had started working long before we believed time had truly begun. Imagine a galaxy 1,000 times smaller than the Milky Way, containing, in some way, the same quantity of material, all of its gas, cosmic dust, and stars crushed into an extremely constrained space. A vast and massive black hole is at its center, close enough that if you lived in that galaxy, you'd see a stunning, terrifying, larger and wider ring in your sky, more visible than a full moon. Scientists are not only perplexed by this, but they are stunned because if galaxies were able to form like this in the early universe, the question is, why did they stop? What changed? Why did cosmic creation slow down following such a high-energy, unimaginable beginning? One scientist put it bluntly: "This is the most bizarre and fascinating set of things I've seen throughout my career. For the universe to look like this shortly after its alleged birth would require a brand new and exotic mechanism of structure, one that breaks the laws we thought couldn't be broken, one never before observed." As these cosmic anomalies emerge, radical questions are emerging within the world's leading minds. What if the Big Bang wasn't the start? What if black holes, these massive eternal titans, did not emerge following the explosion but survived it? Here comes the idea that the universe is in perpetual turbulence of risings and fallings. If the previous universe gave way to a singularity, some black holes may have survived the storm and brought with them the beginning of a brand new universe. If that's the case, then the old impossible structures Webb is detecting are not new at all. They are survivors, remnants of a universe that existed, collapsed, and was reborn. If that is the case, the James Webb Space Telescope does more than just look back. It extends beyond the beginning. It's like finding a memory so ancient and so potent that it alters our entire position in the universe. And the most terrifying aspect? This may just be the beginning of an insight no one is truly prepared to battle. Our understanding of the universe up to this point was based on a delicate equilibrium, a model that was put together over many years, reworked and patched to fit each new discovery. However, the James Webb's uncovering is not simply a flaw in the system. It is a succession of evidence severing the fabric of contemporary physics. It's more than just one strange galaxy, a distant star, or an impossible black hole. It's a concerto of contradictions, with each one amplifying every new occurrence. The once believed unshakable cosmological model is showing cracks. Galaxies are excessively bright. Black holes and cosmic structures are expanding too quickly, appearing when there ought to have been only disorder. Theorists are in a panic. Some suggest that galaxies form more quickly through unknown mechanisms. Others talk about exotic matter that, as far as we know, defies gravity. However, beneath every document and polite meeting, a mute fear is growing. That the universe we believed we comprehended never existed in the manner we imagined. Additionally, if the models no longer fit reality, that indicates reality itself requires us to investigate much further than the once trustworthy borders. Faced with this cosmic change, something even more troubling is happening, not in the data, but among the people who give it meaning. Scientists, frequently eager to publish groundbreaking findings, suddenly show caution. Interviews become longer. Documents are delayed. Statements that were once brimming with excitement are now encased in cautious, sterile speech. When no one is looking, at secret meetings and private conferences, the actual conversations continue after rounds. It is being acknowledged by some researchers. We do not comprehend what we are seeing. Others worry that speeding up these discoveries could be started by the public, both philosophical and scientific, due to the fact that if the James Webb Telescope is showing us structures that are older than if there are black holes, and where none should be, galaxies are appearing, exist, then astronomy isn't the only thing that needs to be revised. It's all there is. And it's possible that humanity isn't ready to be told that the universe is not a perfect story with an unmistakable beginning. Perhaps the truth is larger, more sinister and stranger than we could have ever imagined. New hypotheses emerge as the enigmas mount, are gaining traction. Ideas that had been belong in the realm of fantasy, but now seem terrifyingly believable. One theory suggests that the universe is more than just cyclical, growing and crashing to the ground like a cosmic lung, but programmable, similar to a computer program, the very fabric of space opera. Patterns observed in the development of galaxies, the behaviors and even the clustering of stars of dark matter appear to be too arranged, too intended to be merely coincidental chaos. What if James Webb is making a decision, up not just random echoes of the past universe, but intentional fingerprints instead? What if ancient buildings do not survive by chance, but intentionally? A celestial memory encoded within the core of existence, recurrence and echo, as a message through each new universe left to those who are brave enough to dig deep enough. It makes no sense. However, now again, black holes once did as well. So did dark matter, and right now with each image, the divide between James Webb's and a theoretical marvel that cannot be denied reality becomes less real. The last paradox may be the most eerie of all. James Webb the Man telescopes were made to see further into space, the past more than anything else, to observe the universe in its earliest stages. But rather than that, it is revealing a universe that looks too mature. The initial universe should have been chaotic, wild, disorganized. Nonetheless, we observe massive galaxies, ancient light and intricate structures, displaying a maturity that defies explanation. This forces us to consider whether or not we are observing the creation of the universe. Or are we gazing at a universe's embers that preceded it, the dispersed remains of a universe that never died completely? Some there may be a cosmic memory, say scientists, residue. The notion that black holes, some extremely dense structures, carried the heaviness of an old universe's weight in the new one, information that is leaking matter, and even the force of gravity across our boundary, formerly known as the Big Bang. In that case, James Webb is much more than a telescope. It's a time machine not designed for our beginning, but at the conclusion of someone else. And what it is demonstrating to us may be just the first layer of a much older reality, significantly deeper and more terrifying than anything we could have ever imagined. The Space Telescope. James Webb was intended to be our final key, our bridge to the beginning of the universe, to the ember that ignited everything in motion. However, instead, it has shown something much more frightening, not in the birth of the universe, not the beginning of everything we are, except for the traces of something previous, a relic of an earlier reality that cannot be ignored. Black holes from the past that shouldn't exist, galaxies that are too old for their estimated age, carved in structures in the space-time fabric long before there was meant to be a before. They aren't random problems. These are indicators, echoes, and cautions. The cosmos did not simply begin. It could always have been bursting into new life and leaving behind fingerprints that we have only recently learned to see. The truth is horrifyingly straightforward. We've never been at the start of anything. We have always been on our feet in the ruins of something much, much older, stranger, and significantly more powerful than we are yet to comprehend. And right now, James Webb's revelations face the flood of a query that transcends the realm of science prior to philosophy. Are we the only ones to investigate the void, or only the most recent to see it staring back at you? What do you believe? Does James Webb find the true origin of everything? Or are we simply reading the final echoes of a long-forgotten ancient universe? Inform us your opinions in the comments section. We study each and every one, and if you'd like to keep uncovering the scientific truths that are only beginning to whisper, make sure to sign up and hit that bell for notification. Owing to James Webb's discovery is just the beginning of the inquiries we are unable to answer.